So you want to cut away the posterior on both sides so that when the rim is placed in the mouth, the posterior aspect does not touch anymore. So you want to make sure that it doesn't touch. Okay, and go back into the patient's mouth. Just pause it. Okay, right? So I want to now mark my midline. Use an instrument that is not hot. And you want to look at the middle of his face so that he has a good smile. So you want to look at the middle of the face and you want to make a mark. And compare it with the whole of the face. And if you feel the mark is okay, then you extend it towards the frenum. Okay, so the mark of the face, midline, is always in relation to the face, not really the frenum. And then of course you have the canine lines. Comes from the inner canthus of the eye, through the ala of the nose, out here, where we had developed our canine line before, canine eminence of the line. On this side again, inner canthus, ala of the nose, comes here to the same location we had done before. Okay, open your eyes, smile, big smile. Yes. So this is your high lip line. Okay. Having done this, now we want to go in for the horizontal relation. For the horizontal relation, the patient has to take his mandible back because that is the most relaxed position for his joint. If the thumb, just going to guide you, holding the rim in the side.
No, when this cut close my mouth,
No, I'm not pressing it down, I'm pressing it back. I'm pressing it, I'm guiding it back. Yes, I'm guiding it back. Not down. Okay. Relax. For the GP. This exercise. Very good. So we see that uncomfortable. Okay. Okay. So we see that is a centric. Okay, and you want to extend the midline. When the patient is in centric, you want to extend the midline. No, it's not hard. Don't worry, I won't cut you. This is blunt. It is not like a knife. Okay, it is just a wax knife. Alright? You just want to be scared, so I'm going to turn on the instrument and do it like that. Okay? So I have an extension of my midline down to my lower lip as well, lower occlusal lip. Now, posteriorly, you want to now start the bite registration process, and quickly you want to wind up. In the premolar region, I want to put 2 lines. Okay? In this premolar region also, I want to put 2 lines. You want to zoom into these lines. Okay? So I'm extending the line to the top. I have 2 lines that I've made in there. Show you the lines. You can see the lines here. And I have a corresponding line in my lobe. Okay, so you can see very clearly I have my markings here, yawn. Yeah, you can see see very clearly I have markings here. My midline needs to be coincident. Sorry. Markings are here. Midline is coincident, and I have markings on this side. What do I do with this? The first one, the second, and third. I want to open a trough in the lower, little beyond my line markings. A trough in the lower, little beyond my line markings. Heat up my instrument. Okay, same thing on this side. Same thing on this side. I'm going to open up. Little beyond the lines. Little beyond the lines.
لا لا مش هسه لا ما فيش بركه ده كان في شكل بالنار بس وبعدين هذا
Take off this. Take off this. So the trough there. So you can see development of a trough about 1 to 2 millimeters lower than the occlusal plane on both the sides. Okay. In the upper, where the marks are, you want to extend the marks onto the occlusal aspect. Okay. You never want to keep it parallel. You always want to keep it divergent. So you want to take it divergent a little bit. Okay. And you want to cut this across to form a notch. So here you can see very clearly V-shaped notches. Okay? Yeah. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to keep them slightly divergent or convergent. So you can see V-shaped notches there. Okay. And you can see it on this side as well. Okay. At this point, we want to see if our notches are corresponding with the trough that we have made. You don't want the light? You sure? Intraoral may be difficult. So I just want to see here, I want to show you here. Can you see that? Want me to come there? Let me help you with that. Okay? So you can see that the notches are in my trough. On this side also I need to check. Here my notches, one of my notches is in the trough, the posterior notch is not. So I'm going to correct my, I want to open up a little bit here and add up wax. So you can see I've added some wax in the posterior and removing my, making my trough a little bigger so that it will, the notches will be inside. Now to help my bite registration process, I like to put some grooves. So that my bite registration material can record inside. Just open this also a little bit. Okay. Make some grooves so that my bite registration material can record. I'm going to use zinc oxide retinol bite registration paste here. Okay, on the external surface of this record block as well as on the internal surface, and a little bit, just a little bit on the occlusal surface. The idea behind putting Vaseline on these surfaces is that you don't want the zinc oxide retinol to stick too much onto the inner surface. You want to be able to separate them. You want to remove any material that's flowed into the grooves, just remove them. Okay, alright, just remove them. Add on something here again, just a little bit into the grooves, just a little bit, otherwise it will retard the setting. So just a little bit into the grooves, right? Okay, so this is done. Putting my material, so I'm going to mix the material. I'm going to use the posterior aspect of it. Remove any wax that's stuck onto my wax knife. Okay, remove any wax. It's clean. Mixing. Like get a uniform mix, uniform color. Don't want any streaks of material. Okay, at this point, I'm going to pick up some. I'm going to load it into the trough. Make sure you load at the back as well so it holds on. Load some more material into this area of the trough. Load the back as well. And then a little material into the notches. So you want to enhance the pressure. When they are placed together, I want to increase the pressure. Okay. Now, okay, patient bites in centric. And you can feel the bone film. It's true, right? You can feel that. You just want to maybe manipulate the cheek a little bit so that the material flows. You want to support the cheek so it doesn't open off accidentally and it doesn't push forward. So you just support the cheek. And you are done. This is the last, very last phase of jaw dilation where you're taking the bite registration and just wait for the material to set. Just waiting for a few seconds. Recording. Red button, red light. So it's gotten set. So I'm just going to slowly take it off. Don't open your mouth. Don't open. Okay. So I'm going to support the lower part of my occlusal rim before he opens the mouth. Open slowly. Open. Alright. And then you want to gently take it off from here. There you see the record bases are not touching. Right, I'm going to bring it up close to you. The record bases are not touching on both sides, and the registration is done. And we will wash and separate this so you can see how it looks. We have got it out. So we have got it out, and I just want to remove this material so that I can show you how it's done. So I've removed the material from the top part of my, so you can see the notches very clearly, right? Okay. Same thing on this side. Let's take off the zinc oxide from the top part. This is where the Vaseline really helps, and you can see the V-shaped notches there. Okay. Now we want to remove anything that's flowed to the back. Want to remove it. You also want to remove material from the inside, especially from the top part. Okay. So I remove that material from the top side, and then you can separate it. Okay, gently, carefully. If there is any resistance to it, look for any other areas like this, holding it together. Yeah. Okay. Once you've separated them, you can see very clearly that there is V-shaped notches on the lower. The notches corresponding area has come in the bite registration, right? So this, when you do the mounting, it will go in exactly fitting into that area, midline coincident, and here. Okay? This is important so that you can mount the upper using a mounting table. Otherwise you cannot. If it's going to be together and inseparable, you cannot mount using a mounting table. This causes the occlusal plane that you have registered to become wrong on the articulator. So it's important that you have it separable. And this is a good thing about using a zinc oxide original bite registration material. So they go back in, midline is coincident, back there. Nice.